Okay, in this video I'm going to be going over the basics of FPV flying. I'm going to be using Fat Shark goggles, Fat Shark transmitter, GoPro Hero 3 camera. Now, one of the very basic things in FPV is how you're going to sit or stand when you fly. I tend to stand up and then keep my head down as I fly. Most people like to sit down. Of course, all this is with goggles. If you're using a display, most people stand up so they can look and follow like normal. But I'll be using goggles. I tend to stand and keep my head down. The reason you're doing this is if you keep your head up with the goggles on, you tend to move your head around, you tend to get dizzy as you fly. So just keep your head down, makes you less dizzy. Okay, now we're going to actually get to some of the flying.
Now on takeoff, I tend to point the model away from me, so I know it's not going to come towards me. I always lean it out as I take off. So like in this case, I'll push forward just a little bit on takeoff, so it goes out and away from me. And then when I'm done, I'll tend to turn the model back to see where I'm at. The other thing I tend to do is find objects in the sky I can line up to. Like in this case, I can use the road to help me line up. Also gives me a marker to come back to. So I like to find straight lines, like that fence. I'll line up to a fence, come over to it, line back up. Gives me good things to line up to and actually practice staying on straight lines. Now from just a basic circuit like this, when I'm ready to land, I'll tend to point the nose at me and keep flying in at myself. I'll use myself as a gauge for altitude. So first, okay, I can see the road. I'll try to find kind of a clear spot to land. I keep it pointing at me and use that as a gauge for height and just keep slowly descending until I meet the ground. But having me there as an altitude check helps a lot with figuring out where the ground is.
Okay, that's the absolute basics on FPV, just helping you to lift off, fly around, and land. Remember to always have a spotter with you to help you in case there's anything coming across your path. Also, if you're doing this for the first time, it's very good to have a person there to buddy box with you to get the model in case you lose sight of them. Those are the absolute basics on FPV. Later on, we'll get into some more advanced stuff.